Today, we're doing something a little different. We're not just looking at a property listing. We're actually peeling back the curtain on the marketing strategy that went into selling it. So let's dive into this really fascinating micro case study in real estate.
Okay, it all starts with this number, $350,000. Now this isn't just a price tag, right? Think of it as the central problem, the big puzzle that the entire marketing strategy had to figure out how to solve.
And that immediately brings up the obvious question, doesn't it? For that kind of money, in one of Beirut's most popular areas, what are you actually getting? This is the moment where the product has to step up and really justify that price.
All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we're going to meet our main character, the apartment itself. Then, we'll weigh its strengths against its weaknesses. After that, we'll uncover the broker's secret strategy, see how they marketed a very specific lifestyle, and finally, we'll distill the key lesson from all of this.
Okay, let's jump right in. First things first, we've got to get the basic facts on the table. Because, to really understand the marketing, you first have to understand the product. So, on paper, this place looks pretty solid. It's in a prime spot, Jizitawi, Ashrafia. You've got 2 beds, 2 baths. It's fully furnished, has balconies, an elevator, and it's totally ready to move in. Sounds almost perfect, right? But, and this is a big but, there are a couple of significant catches here.
And that brings us right to the heart of the marketing problem. See, no product is perfect, and a great marketer knows how to build a whole narrative around the pros while, let's say, reframing the cons.
And this slide just lays out the central conflict perfectly. On one side, you have these massive pros. The location is everything, it's completely move-in ready, and it has this classic charm in a well-kept building. But on the other side, you've got 2 huge hurdles. The building is 55 years old, and crucially, there is absolutely no parking. So this is the million-dollar question, or I guess in this case, the $350,000 question. How do you possibly convince a buyer that those pros heavily outweigh these very practical cons? Well, this is where strategy comes in.
And that brings us to the broker's core strategy. The solution wasn't to try and hide the flaws, not at all. It was to make them seem almost irrelevant by changing the entire focus of the conversation. The entire strategy pivots on this one single instruction. It's so explicit. Stop talking about the building's age. Instead, sell the neighborhood, sell the charm, sell the feeling of the place.
This approach actually has a name. It's called the lifestyle sell. You're not just selling 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. You're selling the experience of living there. You're selling that walkable Ashrafi life, the morning coffee on the balcony, the feeling of being right in the heart of the city.
So, with the strategy defined, let's take a look at how it was actually executed. How do you translate sell the neighborhood and charm into a tangible piece of marketing that people will actually see?
Let's break down their 30-second Instagram reel. Notice what they lead with, not the apartment, but the area. The opening line is pure lifestyle, dreaming of living in one of Beirut's most iconic areas. They show off the elegant living spaces and the balconies overlooking those lively streets. But what's missing is just as important. The building's age is never mentioned. The lack of parking is never mentioned. Every single second is dedicated to selling the dream.
So, what's the big lesson here? What can this one specific example really teach us about marketing in general? The crucial point is this. The broker didn't sell a 55-year-old apartment. They sold classic charm. They didn't sell a unit with no parking. They sold a walkable Ashrafi life. They successfully transformed a feature, the age, into a benefit, charm. They took a huge challenge and just reframed it as part of a desirable lifestyle. What they really sold was a story.
And that leaves us with a final thought. Whether it's a car, a coffee, or a condo, every single advertisement you see is telling you a story. So the next time you see one, ask yourself, what are they really selling? What story are you being invited to join?